Hello, fellow lightworkers. Happy New Year and welcome to 2024. I am psychic medium and channel Jill M. Jackson, and I am here to talk about not only January 2024 predictions, energy, and updates. I'm also going to talk about the year 2024 in general. And before I forget, because sometimes I do, be sure to hit the subscribe button below and let other people know about my YouTube channel. And be sure to check out my website, jillemjackson.com, and also mysticjourneys.us. We have a few spots left for our full moon wisdom of the heart retreat. We are going to bring in the summer solstice in Stonehenge next June, or this coming June. So be sure to check that out as well. You don't want to miss that one. So let's get right into the energy of 2024. There's a few things that I want to discuss and talk about. I want to first give you two words, overall words that Spirit gave me for the energy of 2024. The first word is polarity, and the second word is illumination. So let's talk first about polarity. And when I asked them to give me more clarification around the word polarity and what that means energetically for 2024, what I was shown is that there are multiple timelines coexisting, and depending on where we are each vibrating in our own resonance frequency, this is how we are going to view what is happening on the world stage, so to speak, during 2024. Let me give you an example. If you are choosing to vibrate in a lower frequency of fear and separation, and choosing not to do your own work around the ego, then yes, 2024 is going to seem very chaotic. There are many things that I see happening or potentially happening in 2024. I have been shown a major US bank collapse, and it's one of the main banks. So be aware of that. We'll talk more about some of those predictions in a few minutes, because I just want to stay on this topic of polarity and what my guides are explaining as far as how we can use this. So again, if we are vibrating in a lower frequency, then the movie is going to seem very chaotic and destructive. If you choose to continue watching the mainstream narrative, the three-letter words of the news agencies, whose job is to preach fear and anxiety, division, separation. If you choose to be fed that on a daily or weekly basis, then your vibration is vibrating in a place where, through your lens, 2024 is going to seem very chaotic and very destructive. I do see potentials for wars continuing to escalate. They're showing it to me as an ebb and flow. There's going to be talks of peace, and especially in Russia and the Middle East. And I feel like that slips back a little bit, because the dark is still trying to take hold. However, we have the free will choice to keep our vibrational frequency elevated, to continue working on our ego and our shadow. And the lens on the world stage will look very, very different from those of us who are choosing a higher vibrational frequency. Okay, there's a difference from being prepared for a potential event. Sometimes the energy in something has moved to a momentum that the only outcome is for that event to occur. All right. However, there are some events that we can energetically help to shift the reality of that timeline. And so let me just give you some predictions and some potentials that I have seen for the year 2024. Definitely a push towards digital currency. And again, I'm seeing a major US bank collapse. There are two ways with this polarity for us to look at this scenario. We can look at the scenario in fear, saying that a bank is going to collapse, so that's not a good thing, right? Or we can choose to look at this through the lens of change and evolution and the realization that the way our current financial system is structured does not serve anyone except the 1%. So again, how do we want to look at this change? How do we want to perceive this? What eyes do we want to look at this movie screen play out from? Okay, the other prediction I have is diversification. It's important to diversify more than ever. If you have funds or you have holdings, please diversify those. Real estate, I feel like, is going to be a really safe investment. So if you are able to invest in real property, in land, in buildings, in communities even, I do see that being a solid investment. Be aware of the main financial institutions. Be aware, I feel like the stock market, I'm not seeing a crash, but I am seeing some volatility in 2024. The other thing that I want to say energetically is I do not see either Trump nor Biden being the winner of the US political election coming next November. It's going to seem like this prediction that I have is inaccurate leading up to that time. But what I'm being shown is it's a last minute chaos, if you will. And I do see Trump being found guilty of some, not all, some of the charges that he has been charged with. I do see him found guilty. And I do feel like he needs to be aware of a potential assassination attempt on his life. However, things are not as they seem in that regard. And that's all I'm going to say around that subject matter. I do feel like Marianne Williamson is completing part of her soul contract in raising awareness towards unity and bringing countries and people together. However, I do not see her winning the election, but she has accomplished part of her blueprint, part of her soul's contract in helping to spread awareness for peace and unity. And for that, she has accomplished a lot. And I feel like the wheels of that continue expanding, and eventually we will have choices of leaders that believe in peace and unity and love, because that's really what we're here to learn is unconditional love. I do hear Spirit is saying the new Madrid is rumbling. So I do feel like there's a potential for some earth changes. I see very large earthquakes continuing. That has been happening over the last few years. The poles are shifting, but again, it's not for our highest and best good to go into a place of fear. However, we can be prepared. All right. And I feel like that we are shown these things to give us an opportunity to be prepared when these events occur. They have happened throughout millennia, And I do feel like of all the major fault lines, I do feel the new Madrid, as far as the United States goes, has more activity energetically when I tune into the map for going into 2024. So for those of you who would be affected by that, just make sure that you are prepared. And I've said this in previous videos, holistic health continues to gain momentum in 2024. So if you are a holistic practitioner, please don't give up. Your work is needed. Continue trusting, continue moving forward, and know that your resilience will pay off in so many different ways and so many different dividends. So keep up the good work and know that more and more of people are coming to the realization in 2024 that big pharma is not the key to health. Big pharma only weakens our immune system. Creator God provided natural remedies through Mother Earth for any ailments that we have. And I feel like that more and more people are going to wake up to this realization in 2024. The other word that comes up now from Spirit is about truths being revealed. So that's another insight that I have for 2024. It's going to be a year of truths coming out. When COVID hit in 2019, 2020, and the vaccine came out, and I hopefully don't get this video banned from using that word. My spirit team instructed that it was harmful, it was not safe, and not to take it. And so I have been pretty public about that from the beginning. I have also honored and respected other people's decision and choices for their own personal health. It's not up to anyone to tell us what we should or should not inject. In my opinion, in our physical bodies, I am natural health all the way. And I was told by Spirit that it was not safe. Now, it is now coming out. I believe Florida, the Surgeon General, I believe, has just announced that it will be banned in the state of Florida. The deaths that it has caused are in the millions. So there are going to be more revelations and more truths being revealed around the harmful effects of this SHOT. I'm not going to say it again because I don't want the video to be banned. So those of you who did make the choice to take this, it's important not to go into the energy of regret. And it's also important not to beat ourselves up because we're humans. You know, a lot of us made those decisions based on things that were outside of our control or that we felt were outside of our control, because in reality, we always have control of any situation, right? If we're going to lose our job, we have the free will choice to leave that job. However, for those who did not make that choice, it's okay. It's not about beating ourselves up. And there are some holistic remedies to be able to remove the harmful effects from the physical body. So be sure to look into that for those of you who did make that choice. I encourage you in the future, when there are new pharmaceutical shots introduced, because there will be, I really encourage you not to make your decision from a place of fear, or not to make your decision from a place of guilt, saying if you don't do this or you don't inject this in your body, then you may harm someone else. That is not a high vibrational energy to make personal choices and decisions on what works best for our own health. Okay, so when these new ones are introduced in the future, and again, they will be in 2024, I encourage you to use your own discernment. Check in with your gut reaction. How does it feel? has enough research been done to prove the safety of it? And I'm not talking about a clinical trial of 10 people or a clinical trial that's not even using the same ingredients. So I encourage you to use your discernment moving forward and know that Creator, God, provided our physical bodies. We have the ability to always heal ourselves. We have that ability. And there are natural remedies from Mother Earth for everything, including viruses and bacteria. So I just wanted to talk about that, but there are going to be more truths revealed around many different avenues, not just that, but the Epstein list is going to be coming out. I do feel that there are some people that are in danger around that. But I feel like that a lot of revelations are going to come out in the year 2024 that is going to cause some shock and some truths that are going to cause people to question their own reality. And again, when we have the opportunity to question things and to look at the paradigm that we have been residing in and to make a choice that there are new paradigms that we can choose to move our frequency into, to integrate our frequency to a higher vibration. The other word that Spirit has given me for the year 2024 is illumination. And I love this word for so many different reasons. But what Spirit has shared with me is 2024 is a year of illumination, meaning that truths will be illuminated and revealed. And while at first glance, this may seem chaotic, it may seem destructive, the reality is that the foundation of the old paradigm that the earth has been residing in is crumbling. And part of this illumination is to bring to light things that are not true, to bring to light that we are more than our physical bodies, and to help us remember our sovereignty and our divinity. And that is a huge message for humanity as we embark on the year 2024. Again, use discernment. And the other message that Spirit encouraged me to talk about for the month of January and for the year 2024 is about relationships and friendships and partnerships that have crumbled or that have been dismantled in some way. I know for many light workers, there have been a lot of separation, a lot of people leaving our lives, and sometimes in a split second. I know for myself, I have had this experience, especially during 2022 and 2023, where someone who had been in my life for a very long time, who I loved and who loved me back, whether it's a friend or a colleague or a student, I had instances where those people left my life in a split second. And over the past year, I have done a lot of soul work and a lot of questioning about why these occurrences happened and what was available for me to learn from this. And I've really been guided to share this with you. There are 3 reasons that someone leaves our lives. Okay. Reason number 1 is the karma and the soul contract is complete. There are people that come into our lives for the only sole purpose to balance karma and to fulfill a mutual soul contract. And when that has been completed, then that relationship parts ways. Okay, that is reason number one. Reason number two is called the ego. And I'm writing an entire book about the ego, but let me just explain what I'm talking about here. There are many of us who have a soul contract to hold up a mirror for other people. And a great astrologer, Kathy Beale, actually discovered that in my chart. And it helped me understand that I had agreed on a soul level before I incarnated in this lifetime to hold up a mirror for other people to be able to see their own truths. Now, that comes in many different shades and forms because I love it when I'm able to hold up a mirror for someone, and within that mirror, they are able to see their own spiritual gifts. And within me holding up that mirror for them, they are able to have a better glimpse into their own contracts and their own soul blueprint. Okay, so that is the light side and the exciting side of me agreeing on a soul level to hold up a mirror for other people. However, there's a flip side to that. And for many of you who are watching this, you may indeed have this in your soul contract as well. So I'm sharing these vulnerabilities with you in hopes that it will help you along your path, because the flip side of it is when we hold up a mirror for someone who has not done their own inner ego work and their own inner shadow work, sometimes by us holding up that mirror for them, what happens is they project their own shadow back onto the person holding the mirror up for them. And in their reality, in that moment, the person holding the mirror actually encompasses these traits and these personalities of the shadow side of their personality. So therefore, when they are not ready to own and authenticate the shadow parts of themselves, because we all have a shadow side, we all do, we're humans. When they are not ready to embrace that side of themselves, the only other option for them to do is to project that onto someone else. So if you are someone, if you are a light worker who has experienced this, first of all, my heart goes out to you, because it can be quite painful to experience, and especially from those people who we love and thought loved us back. And it can be jolting, it can be startling, because sometimes we're holding up the mirror and that projection comes back out of nowhere and we're not expecting it. So what Spirit has helped me understand and come to terms with, I guess is the best word that I can use, is that that was my soul contract. And part of my shadow that I learned from this is it does not matter what other people say or think about me. That is on them. So throughout the occasions where I have held up a mirror and I have had people project their own shadows onto me and to make up falsehoods and rumors and gossip that are simply not true, yes, as a human, that hurts on a deep level, right? So what my team has helped me understand is it's okay to grieve these losses on a human level. That is That is we are souls living, a physical experience in a physical body. So yes, it is okay to be sad or angry or frustrated or shocked or hurt when these things happen. And it's okay to go through that experience. However, the growth opportunity comes from being in a place of empowerment and not from a place of victimhood. And that was my own growth opportunity over this past couple of years, where I needed to balance that, allowing the emotions while also shifting my own frequency from a place of being a victim to a place of empowerment, and even going a step further into gratitude for those soul growth opportunities. Because the truth is that one of my shadows that I have worked on for years and years and years and continue to do so is the need to be liked and loved. And many light workers share this with me. If you are someone who has that deep need within yourself, to the need to be liked by everyone, I invite you to grow with me throughout the month of January and throughout 2024, and to reprogram our minds to the knowing that it is none of our business what people say about us or what they think about us. Because the reality is, we know our truth. We know what resides in our heart. And that's all that matters. If we can look at ourselves in a mirror at the end of the day and know that we showed up from a place of heart and from a place of knowing that we gave something the best that we could, then that's all we can ask of ourselves. The other key is to forgive those individuals, to forgive those who have caused us pain and traumas. Now, does that mean that it's our responsibility to welcome those people back into our lives with open arms? If someone comes and breaks into our house and steals from us, and they take our electronics and some of our furniture, are we going to ask those people to pet sit or to house sit for us the next month? Hopefully not. Hopefully we can use our discernment and not open ourselves up to that. Does that mean that we have not forgiven that person? Hopefully, that is on us and our own soul's path. But our discernment teaches us that that's not the highest and best option to bring that person back into our home. And it's the same with light workers. It's the same with those on this spiritual journey. If someone has betrayed us, if someone has betrayed our trust, if someone has stolen from us, whether it's clients, whether it's trade secrets, whether it's physical items, if there has been theft, then that is not a person that you would want to welcome back in to your business, right? If someone has shown you their character, I feel like we should believe them. Okay, again, it doesn't mean that we hold grudges. It doesn't mean that we don't wish them well on their path. It doesn't mean that we don't forgive them. Now, if someone has made a mistake and they have come back to that person and they have, from the bottom of their heart, asked for forgiveness, and they have been honest with themselves and with the person, saying, hey, I did these things. I made a mistake. Can you please forgive me? And I would like to have a reconciliation in this relationship, whether it be a friendship, a colleague, a work relationship, a love, a romantic, even a family relationship. It's my belief that if someone, we all make mistakes, we're humans, right? It's my belief that if someone does want to come and offer a true apology, and it's up to us to accept that apology, and then, yes, we may choose with our own free will to bring that person back into our lives. The key is discernment, and also the key is being honest with ourselves and others when we have made a mistake. I feel like that there are many light workers who have had an awakening and who have taken development courses, psychic development courses, who have not embraced their shadow. And I feel like the year 2024 is about illuminating the shadow. So those of you who have been fearful of the shadow and have tried to put your shadow in a very small corner of your body and hoping that it would go away, 2024 is going to bring opportunities for the shadow to be faced and bringing opportunities for us to understand our shadow, for us to grow from our shadow, and for us to love all aspects of ourselves. And for me, when I was asked, I allowed my ego self, based on hurt and based on false rumors, I allowed myself to sell my beloved spiritual center that I had birthed in 2018 in Mississippi. And while it was painful, some of those experiences, and while I had valid reasons to experience the traumas that I did on a personal physical basis, it also gave me opportunity to grow. And what my guides taught me after being willing to let my spiritual center go, because the reality is it was fear that I would be hurt and traumatized and false rumors would be spoken about me again. So I allowed those fears to choose to let my beloved spiritual center go. Okay. My soul growth opportunity from this experience was my guides helping to teach me that, again, it is none of my business what people say about me. It is none of my business the lies and the rumors and the falsities that are said about me. That is on the person that decided to start those rumors. It is on me how I react to that. And wouldn't you know, the universe brought it back around where my husband and I are now the guardians again of our beloved spiritual center. And now I was able to go back in and embrace the role of guardianship of the beautiful soul synergy center from a place of empowerment, not from a place of victimhood, from a place of healthy boundaries, and from a place of it really, really doesn't affect my world if it makes you feel good to make up something that is not true. Does that mean that I'm a perfect individual? Absolutely not. However, when rumors and gossip are started about us, understand that there is an energy around that. There is a dark force. There is a spiritual warfare going on right now, without a shadow of a doubt. And who better to use than light workers to help spread the dark and help destroy the foundation of light workers doing their work on this planet. Beware of false prophets. So for those who claim to be light workers, however, who have chosen to vibrate at a lower frequency, and within that lower frequency vibration, have also chosen to gossip about others and to make up stories and scenarios that are simply not true. Think about it. It is the perfect storm and the perfect opportunity for the dark to grab onto those words and to have those words spread like wildfire. But it is up to us to keep our frequency high, to keep our vibration high, and to react from a place of empowerment and standing strong in our light and standing strong in our authentic truth. I'm sharing these vulnerabilities with each one of you because Spirit has shown me that in the year 2024, this is something that is going to play out. There is the polarity of it, and there is the illumination of it. And I feel like Spirit really wanted me to discuss this in this first video of 2024 to create an awareness for those of you who are sharing your work with the world and who are shining your light. Because think about it, when no one knows who we are, our message doesn't get out there, right? When we continue raising our vibrational frequency, when we continue sharing our work, and we continue sharing our wisdom and our truth, and we become more and more known, this is when the dark wants to come in and destroy that and to stop it in its tracks. And this is what we experienced with our beloved spiritual center. The first 2 years, when hardly anyone knew we were there, 2018, 2019, we were still shining our light and the frequency was high, but hardly anyone knew about us. We did not receive any type of spiritual warfare whatsoever, none. It was blissful. However, as that energy grew and as the momentum grew and as the center started becoming more and more known, not only in Mississippi, but throughout the South, where people were traveling and still are from other states to come and experience the light, this is when the dark forces decided to use other light workers to try to halt that. Because again, if you think about it, that's the easiest way to use other light workers that people trust. They trust them, right? So if they're vibrating in a lower frequency, let's say that they have made the choice to consume too much alcohol or to engage in drugs or different behavior where their frequency is lowered. Okay, and this has provided, or even channels who are opening up to channeling and are not ready. This creates a tear in the auric field and allows the dark to come in and influence the thoughts of that light worker. And many times the light worker is just being used for that purpose, and they may not even be aware that that is what is happening. And so they create these scenarios, they create these dramas and gossip and rumors about other light workers that cause harm to that individual's character that cause other people to question the character of that light worker. And again, if you can look at it from that vantage point, it's really a perfect storm, right? It's brilliant if you look at it from the aspect of the dark using other light workers to destroy those who are shining their light, who are spreading the truth of unity and unconditional love and high vibrational frequency. So please be open to this as a potential in your own lives, especially those of you who are becoming more known in your work, who are making more of an impact on the masses. And I really hope that by me sharing these vulnerabilities with you, that if and when this does happen in your own reality, that you will have the tools to remember it doesn't matter at the end of the day what someone says about us. How we react does. Is it going to alter our course? Is it going to keep us from continuing our work that we came here to do? Hopefully not. Hopefully you will do like I did and put the spiritual armor back on and go back and embrace the blueprint and the soul contract of our lives to help others that are waking up to the truth that the dogma that we have been taught to stay in this tiny little box, that is not our reality, that a new paradigm has already been formed. And we can choose in any moment and every moment of each day to reside in that new paradigm. So please join me there. And please do not allow others to affect your world. Again, it doesn't mean that we want to invite those people back into our sacred spaces. It's okay that we make the choice to lovingly separate our energy from those who have not apologized and who continue to spread untruths about other light workers. Because if you think about it, it's never okay to gossip or to spread rumors about anyone. It is our responsibility to go to an individual who we have had an issue with and to do our best to reconcile that with that individual. That is a high vibrational way to come to some type of closure, healing, or reconciliation. Okay. And then, so that's one way that someone can leave our lives is if they haven't done their own shadow work and we have held up a mirror to them. And then the other is that the soul contract has been complete and the karma has been balanced. And then the third area is resonance. And the reality is we are not all going to have the same resonance at any given time. Our resonance changes, and therefore those who are in resonance with us will come into our fields, will come in, and we can help each other grow and evolve. And those who are not in resonance with us any longer will fall away, sometimes drastically and sometimes very subtly. So when I, as human Jill, would go to my team and say, why did this person leave my life? Why did this colleague choose this path rather than that path? Because as humans, our ego wants to know, right? We want to know the reasons. I know for myself, I like to get to the bottom line of a subject, and I want to know why. My spirit team channeled to me that it is a soul growth opportunity to sometimes not know why. Let's let that sink in for a minute, because it took me a moment to integrate those teachings. That sometimes we're not going to know the why. Why did this person cheat on us? Why did this colleague betray us? Why did this previous student start spreading gossips about us? Why did this business partnership fall apart? Sometimes we're not going to know the answers to those questions. And my team channeled to me that our own growth with this is to release the need to know the why, to release it, and to ask ourselves, how can we grow from this scenario? What can we learn? Can we thank these individuals for helping us grow? So those are the three reasons, or the three ways that people can leave our lives. And I hope by me sharing these with you that it helps you on your path as you continue your path of expansion and your path as a light worker. And again, I'm teaching shadow work this year because it is more important now than ever for us to embrace the shadow. So please check out my school. If you're in Mississippi, I'm teaching an in-person class on the shadow at Soul Synergy Center. I'm teaching an online class through Lilydale on mediumship in the shadow. That's coming up later this month. But it's important for us to do our shadow work. And it really never ends either. We continue learning, we continue evolving. The mark of a great spiritual teacher is one who understands that they are also the student. If you encounter a spiritual teacher who does not feel that they still have anything to learn, I really invite you to run, not walk away from that teacher, because again, we are all students and we are all teachers. And that's why I really love teaching group classes, because within the energy of the group, we learn from each other, right? We all learn from each other. Let me just see if I have missed anything on any predictions. Oh, yes. Okay. Coming up in 2024, and I kind of touched on this a little earlier, but there are going to be several opportunities coming up again with choices to make, like we were exposed to in 2020. And what Spirit has said to me is, these are choices to help us remember our divinity and to help us remember our sovereignty. So I really want to remind you that when these events happen and they start coming up, to remember that we all have free will choices. We always have a choice, always, always. We can choose to say no. We can choose to say, that's not the direction and the path for my highest good. And if you don't agree with that, I'm okay with that. That is your path. Okay, so I do feel that there's several opportunities coming up again in 2024 for us to be faced with these choice points. Okay, so make the decision now. Start bringing that into your awareness. Are you going to follow the dogma of the old paradigm, or are you going to embrace the courageousness of stepping bravely into the new paradigm of the new earth. Okay, let's just see anything else. Okay, AI. I do need to touch on AI, and I'm writing about this in my book about the gifted children. AI, the word Spirit gives me about AI is polarity. Okay, so if you think about any subject matter, you can find the good in it, and we can find the negative in it. And what Spirit has taught me and told me about AI is it's important for us not to fear AI. There are some really, really promising and exciting developments coming in 2024 from the use of AI. However, there are some negative and lower vibrational aspects of AI as well. The key is to use our discernment. Go within, ask yourself, does the use of this AI technology for this particular instance feel high vibrational? Does it feel like it's going to help humanity in some way? Or on the flip side of that, the polarity of that, does it feel harmful? Does it feel like it may be in the hands of those who are being controlled by the dark forces? The key is discernment. And the key is not to go into fear around AI. I really encourage you not to go into fear around AI. There's some really, really important work that can be done around this. Okay, discernment is the key. The other prediction is King Charles of England is going to have one of the shortest reigns of all time. I see that changing either in 2024 or 2025. The timing on that is depending on some other timelines coming about. But I do, what Spirit has said, the words is his reign will be one of the shortest ones in history, if not the shortest. Yes, William does take over for that sooner rather than later. I also see a new leader in Russia in the next year or two. Let's all send energy for peace. I hesitate with some predictions because our words carry a vibrational frequency. Our thoughts create a vibrational frequency. There are some predictions and visions that I am shown that I choose not to share because it can create fear, and the energy can be assisted actually to help that very event happen. So it's really important for us to train ourselves to know and to remind ourselves and to train our brain that our thoughts and our words carry a vibrational frequency, and the energy is created because we are powerful co-creators around our words. So please be careful with our words. Know that our words are powerful, and speak words of love and unity and bringing others together and helping others expand and awaken. The other thing that I channeled about is there are some new DNA codes within us that will be activated. Some of us have already had some of those codes that have been turned on, and others will experience more of those codes coming in 2024. These are codes of expansion, and there are DNA codes connecting us to the galactic realms and the wisdom of the galactic realms. Know that when these codes are being activated, sometimes it causes a disturbance in the physical body. And it's important when we have these symptoms to remember that these are just new codes being activated and turned on within our physical body. And these strands must integrate to the physical body in the auric field. And sometimes this does affect the physical body with vertigo, nausea, teeth and jaw pains, throat issues, headaches, bizarre pains. You know, this doesn't mean that we don't get checked out and make sure that there's not something truly out of balance with the physical vessel. But if that's not the case, then understand that many times these are new codes and DNA strands that are being activated. And it's just important to give our physical body time to rest, stay hydrated, be aware of the foods that we fuel our bodies with. Ask yourself, and sometimes you can use the pendulum or muscle testing. Is this food for my highest and best? Is this food that I'm ingesting filled with a frequency of love? Is it filled with high vibration? We really, sometimes we pay more attention to what we fuel our cars with than what we fuel our physical vessels with. So also, I invite you to set an intention for the year 2024 to be more mindful, of what we ingest. And lemon water is so powerful. Please stay hydrated. And Dr. Emoto did a study about water. We're comprised of 80% water. So when you think about it, for those of you who know Reiki or quantum healing or seraphim or any other energy healing, and if you have not learned it yet, I really encourage you to do so. We can infuse our water before we drink the water with the energy of high vibration. And I promise you and I assure you that science has been able to measure this as reality. This is not woo-woo, this is reality. So I encourage you to begin a practice, if you haven't done so already, in 2024, before you drink your water, run energy on it, thank the water, ask the water to help bring the physical body back to a place of divinity and divine health, and to also increase your vibrational frequency. And this does wonders on so many different levels. I appreciate every one of you. I am so humbled and honored to do the work that I do. I am excited to have been a guest on Next Level Soul podcast that is coming out very soon. And I am working on my third book. I have my other two books behind me here for those of you who have not read my books. I just actually went back and reread my Mississippi Medium book, and I shed some tears again. It's a really, really fun book to read. There's some beautiful insights in there that I share about my journey that I hope will help others on their journey as well. And then my Secrets of the Secret book is about our soul contracts and about the other spiritual laws and creating our own realities. And it's won awards, and it's a really amazing book as well. And I'm writing the book, my third book, Children of the New Earth. And I'm also writing a book about the ego and the shadow. So thank you again for following my work. Thank you for allowing me to share my work with the world. It's truly a beautiful honor. And I embrace each one of you for the light that you continue to shine. And until next time, remember, you are amazing just as you are, and you are filled with a beautiful light. And namaste. Until next time.